Maybe Build Back Better. Aren't we proud of our president? President Joe Biden has really brought transformative legislation to the fore in this past year. I think it's really important for Democrats to brag about what we have been doing, and we have to do so in a more forceful way, a more unified way. Under his leadership, President Biden has already produced 6 million jobs. His predecessor was producing 30,000 jobs a month. He's already produced 6 million jobs with his initiatives. They were there. What we did at the beginning, the rescue package, which introduced the child tax credit, initiatives to put vaccines in arms, money in pockets, children safely in school, and people back to work. The infrastructure bill, well, where the Republicans voted no and took the dough, is something very popular across the country. Members have had nearly 1,000 events across the country already promoting what is in that legislation. We had our 5 in San Francisco, joined by Zoe and others of our members from the region. Other members across the country have had their meetings as well. So the infrastructure bill is very important. And one important element of it is equity, that we are correcting past mistakes, not putting in infrastructure that divides communities, but eliminating those kinds of projects to unify communities, to do so with equity, with a 40% equity requirement. And now, of course, BBB, to build back better. The infrastructure is good. We're building back better there, but we need to be even better than that with equity. And also to save the planet. $500 billion in the legislation to address the climate crisis. This is historic. Nothing like it. Need to get it passed, and we must get it passed. But in addition to that, one of the preeminent parts of the bill relates to a preeminent issue in America's households and across the country, and that's the health care issue. When we talk about health care, we're talking about addressing issues that relate to disability. We have a strong home health care initiative in the legislation. We have something I'm very proud of when we talk about healthcare is to address the fact that in 12 states, Medicaid was not expanded, but in this legislation, we don't expand Medicaid, we expand Affordable Care Act by drawing Medicaid eligible people into Medicare for practically no cost to them. That's millions of people now having coverage, taking us closer, very close to universal coverage. Of course, we want the coverage to be as good as it possibly can be, and that is also our constant quest. So there's more funding, and again, BBB, whether it's talking about child tax credit, whether it talks about child care, whether it talks about universal pre-K, whether it talks about, as I mentioned, home health care. All of these initiatives enable women and people of color and others to be more prominent in the workplace and have their work rewarded. It's also about equity, again, having fairness in what we do, but it's about ownership as well, so that women and minority-owned businesses can have their shot at whatever government contracts are coming out from the infrastructure bill and the BBB when we're talking about climate and the rest. So this is transformative, but people tell me, don't use the word transformative, just say it lowers cost. It lowers cost for healthcare, whether it's home healthcare, those costs for families across America. It lowers cost for child care. It enables so much more to happen. So we're very, very proud of the legislation. Now we just have to get it passed. And what all that I said about it, it creates jobs, it lowers taxes for families, it lowers costs for families, and it is fully paid for by making everyone, wealthiest and corporate America, pay their fair share. So BBB, voting rights, the rescue package, which we did at the beginning of the year, job creation. Joe Biden has done a remarkable job. We're very proud of him. Now we have to make sure that people know So I hope that you'll be a